Hey, how's it going, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about a couple more episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho, episodes 81 and 82, starting with 81. This episode was actually fairly solid. What ends up happening is, at the beginning, the episode basically does my job for me, and recaps itself about how Yusuke beat the doctor and all that stuff, and how many guys are left to fight, and that they have Kuwabara, and blah blah blah. It was just kind of funny, like, thinking about it, like, I was watching it, like, they're doing, like, a episode recap right now, like, they're doing my job for me, thank you very much. But anyways, what ends up happening is, they decide to split off into groups and send a few of their fighters into the cave, so that there's still some, you know, left behind in case those guys get killed. So that's a smart idea. Send your strongest 3 guys in, and then if they die, all you have left is a bunch of, like, not even capable fighters. Like, Genkai, she can still fight, but she's not, like... Well, I guess she's still pretty badass, but other than her, like, none of the other guys, you know, the, like, Taboo guy, like, I mean, I guess if he can get his territory going and everything. And then you got Seaman, and with Seaman, well, basically, he's going to guide them through the labyrinth of tunnels inside the cave so they can rescue Kuwabara. And then they're like, wait, can we trust this guy, you know? And we got the dude who can, like, you know, look like you and have all your memories and everything. And he's like, you want me to, like, scan this dude? Like, you want me to see if he's good? Like, turn into him and read all his memories and what he's thinking? They're like, no, that's too smart of an idea. Let's just go in, because Yusuke has a good feeling about this guy. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's not going to betray them. He is actually a fairly solidly developed character, so if he does betray them, all that development's out the window, and I wouldn't really be a fan of that. I mean, it's not like he's, like, super well developed, but just the fact that he was able to kind of see what he did wrong and try to make up for it and everything. He's got a little bit more to him than most of these other guys so far. But all that'll be gone if he's just fucking playing them, but we'll see what happens. So... let's see, what happens next? Yeah, the 4 of them go in. It's Yusuke, Hiei, Kurama, and not little guy, what the fuck? They do end up seeing the little guy, and Seaman, and they all go in. There's 4 of them, right? That's completely pointless, because they end up having to go back, because they have to play this Goblins King game, because it's the Game Master's thing. They have to go back out, bring everybody back in except for Botan, and it was really no point in splitting up at all, but, you know. So they're all there, there's 7 of them, and basically the game is like 7 different games of different varieties: puzzle, fighting game, sports game. There's like a slot machine that says difficulty, category, and like the actual game itself, like sports, tennis, difficulty 7. And Seaman's up, and Seaman goes up there and he plays the tennis game, and it kind of like puts you in there. Like, it's not like you're actually doing it, you're still controlling it on an arcade stick, but you can actually, like, see it, like, in person, like, virtual reality kind of thing. And he wins the tennis game, and it's not, like, super eventful or anything, but things are just kind of getting started, and it's a good introduction. His territory is definitely really cool. I like the concept and everything. I'm a gamer. But what's stopping them from just, like, spirit gunning this kid? Like, is there, like, a barrier? Is there, like, rules to the territory? I guess he did say that you have to follow the game's rules. But, I don't know, I just feel like he should have just flat out said, you can't spirit gun me, you can't do this or that, you have to follow the game. Maybe he did say that when he was mentioning the rules. I guess it just wasn't super clear to me, but we'll see. If it was explained, then, you know, criticism aborted, but if it wasn't explained, you know, if they can just spirit gun him and they're choosing not to, that's kind of dumb. Anyways, though, and apparently Genkai plays this game, like fucking Gamer Genkai. Like, that was funny when she's like, I can play the game, and then fucking Yusuke's like, we're not talking about Pong here. Like, that was legit funny. But anyways, the amount of story progression in this episode is pretty good. They make it to the cave. They kind of, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, we split into a group, then we come back together, so that was kind of pointless. But they've got this dude, his powers have been introduced, and we see how the games work, and a game was defeated. Like, a game got beat. So now I believe it's going to be 3 more victories that they need. I'm sure there'll be a couple of losses in there to raise the tension or whatever. But yeah. Excuse me. I definitely liked the episode, though. I think it's a cool ability. I definitely want to see what these other games are going to be like, especially like fighting games or puzzle game or whatever, see who's going to go up for that. So, yeah. Also, I think about 5 of the 7 of them have actually played this game, so I could expect maybe 2 losses right off the bat for the 2 that haven't played. And who were they? Yeah, Hiei, and then the other, the tall-haired guy, haven't played it. Hiei didn't say he never played it, but I'm fucking assuming it was Hiei, because I think all the others said they played it. Plus, it's Hiei. I mean, really? Can you imagine Hiei at a fucking arcade playing Goblin Kings? Like, no, that's not little Vegeta. But anyways, yeah, I liked the episode, though. The story progression, I'm glad an entire game got finished. The tennis game got finished in this episode, as well as being introduced to this guy. So the story progression for a Yu Yu Hakusho episode is fairly solid. Animation was good overall, and the pacing was actually fairly solid. So I'll probably give this episode like a 7.5 out of 10. Like, it was a good, slightly above. No, it's just a good episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, actually. I know, I need to, like, think about the numbers to what wording I'm going to put it. Like, if I give it like a 5, what's that going to be? Give it like a 6, what's that going to be? Because I always like mix it up, but whatever. Thought it was good, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Take that and fucking deal with it. Now I'm going to talk about episode 82. Okay, you guys, so episode 82. This episode was actually pretty damn good when it came to story progression. The pacing of the episode was fairly solid, and the animation was good as well, just to get the technicals out of the way. But as far as an actual summary goes, we get to see Genkai play. She does like a helicopter, shooter game, flight simulator. Yusuke does a fighting game, and then we have Kaito, I believe his name is, do a quiz game. And that's when the game master finally steps up. So we get 3 games done in this episode. That's huge story progression, considering the situation that they're currently in. The portal is still progressing. Koenma wants to do something dangerous. He says he might not come back or whatever. That was a really comedic scene for some reason. It felt really odd. I really feel like that was maybe not a comedic scene in the Japanese version, but I have no idea. So I don't know, but the way that was depicted was odd to me. Like, it could have been a parody of being super dramatic, but for some reason that was just off to me. But anyways, regardless, it's a small scene. Koenma's doing stuff. We'll see what happens. Genkai does the flying game. It's pretty cool. She's pretty damn good at it. Finishes it really quick. Cool explosions, Michael Bay style. And then we get Yusuke, and he basically just has to fight a bunch of fodder dudes and kick the targets on their chests, and he has to turn giant and fight this other guy. It's really fast, just kind of comes and goes, no big deal. Then we get to Kaito, and this is where the game is like, okay, we got through the preliminaries because that's how the game works. Now we're into the meat of it. Now the Goblin King's going to step up, which is the Game Master. And it's Game Master versus Kaito at a quiz game, and Kaito's like, oh shit, I've memorized like all 17,000 questions, all I have to do is hear the first part of it and I can answer it. And then fucking Game Master's just like, well, I've memorized the order of all of the randoms, it'll randomly give you 10 questions, I've memorized all of the fucking orders it's gonna give them in. And then he's just like, boom, 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 answering all of them before the question even pops up. Kaito ends up losing. He has a good idea, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to start answering questions, and I only get 3 strikes, but at least I have a 25% chance of winning. But he ends up using up his 3 strikes, and he loses. With Hiei having no experience at this game, most likely, and tall-haired dude having never played it as well, it's probably just going to come down to Kurama, and it's definitely going to be pretty interesting. I like how it was set up with 3 victories, only need 1 more to win, but there's still a chance you could lose because there's 4 more, so I liked that. And yeah, the kid's cool. He's there just to distract them, waste all their time. Even if they fail the game, they're not going to lose their souls or anything. They're just there, to be stuck. If it was betting their souls, then they would just die, and then there'd be no threat to Sensui, but let's just waste their time. So even if they do somehow win after like 5 hours or 24 hours, I mean, sure, the portal will be open, but they'll still be alive, they'll still fight, they'll do something. Could just kill them, but whatever. It's not a huge deal, and either way they're fucked. Whether they're dead or whether they run out of time, they're screwed. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I thought it was good. I noticed that the games were far more well, not what's his name, not Kaito's game, but I noticed that for Genkai and Yusuke, it was far more interactive than when Seaman did it. When Seaman did it, it was just like, I'm still on the control stick, but I'm playing tennis. With Yusuke and Genkai, they were like in the cockpit of the helicopter and in the field fighting, so weird, but whatever. It's okay. Then we have Kaito and everything, and I do like that they explained that if you try to attack him, because I was saying, can't you just spear gun this kid? Like, I literally just said that. In this episode, they kind of explained that it'll be exactly the same as Kaito, where, you know, you'll just have like a non-violence barrier or whatever, it won't work. So he tries to cut the screen, Hiei does, and that doesn't work. So, yeah, I I liked the episode though. I thought it was cool. I like gaming and everything. Definitely want to see where it's gonna go. I was hoping for more from the fighting game section than what Yusuke did, but it's whatever. We'll see what happens with the other two games. And yeah, we'll see what happens with Kurama, because he'll probably be the saving hope of this whole thing. So yeah, and apparently the portal's going to open in like 2 hours. So I liked them when my one complaint got answered. I like that there's a lot of good progression. The pacing was, you know, good. The animation was good. So I'm really, really digging all of this. Hopefully these next few games are good. Like I said, I'm expecting the next two dudes to lose, and it's all going to come down to Kurama, but I do want to see what Kurama's going to do. I feel like we're getting through this Game Master section at a very good pace. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. Oh, hold on. Hold up, backpedal. Rating. For this episode, I'll go around an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a very good episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, mainly for the story progression, the fact that I'm liking it so much, and just the whole, you know, animation, all the technicals and everything, and just the way it was set up. So, definitely a very good episode of Yu Yu Hakusho. So, thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys thought of these episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.